Hi, you guys. Thank you so very much for tuning in to another episode with me. I really do appreciate you guys being here. So, I decided that to end this series, which is a short one but is very potent with so much amazing information, amazing encouragement for growing pains and what it truly means, because I want you guys to understand what it means biblically, what it means spiritually, what it means mentally, emotionally, so that you can have the tools that you need, and not just that, but so you can have the encouragement and so you can have the support that I know that you guys need, I know that you guys want, to have on a daily basis. And so this is something where you can take and you can apply this, not just apply it, but you can have it on repeat to always come back to have that encouragement and know that there are people who have gone through the same thing. And that's something that, let me just say this, that's something that I had to have as well, because there are many times when I went through things and I was like, and God was teaching me, He was stretching me, and I was just like, Lord, and I was being obedient. But there have been times in the obedience where I'm like, oh my gosh, like what is going on in the middle of the obedience, where it's like, um, it doesn't feel like God is silent, but it feels like this thing is prolonged. Like it's taken a little bit longer than I expected. But I knew I had to hold on and know that God was doing something in the middle of it, that I was going through it for something bigger than myself, that it is a part of my purpose. It is a part of the journey that God has in store for me. And so I hope and pray that this series, as the other previous series, really do help you out in some way, shape, or form, and really does give you that encouragement, that support, that love behind it, that gives you more of an understanding. And speaking of that, I think that may be another series that I go ahead and dive deeper into, where we do break that apart and deconstruct it a little bit, where we are talking about um, what it means to be in the middle of something. And when you are being obedient, what it looks like to be in the middle of it, whether God is talking or whether He is silent. What does it actually look like? So, if you guys really want to hear that, really want me to break that down, then definitely make sure that you leave a comment down below. Give me a thumbs up, give me some comment, some encouragement. Let me know, some support. Let me know that that is a new series, another series that you guys would want to hear and receive. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into today's message. Today's message, we are going to be talking about the courage to follow God in the unknown. I want to start out asking you guys this question: have you ever felt God pulling you somewhere, but you can't see the whole picture? You don't have the steps, you don't have the clarity, you don't have the blueprint, but you do have the nudge, that tiny whisper in your spirit saying, move, shift, step out, let go, trust me. And if you're being honest, it scares you, it stretches you. It feels like you're stepping into a place where all your safety nets are not there, that they disappear. And if that's true for you, then this message is for you. Now, obedience sounds beautiful when we preach it, but it's completely different when God asks us to act on it, because obedience is rarely convenient. It interrupts your patterns, it disrupts your comfort, it challenges your identity. Now, we love the idea of obedience, but boy, do we despise the process. The process exposes our fears: fear of losing control, fear of disappointing people, fear of stepping into something new, fear of failure, fear of success, fear of being misunderstood, and fear of leaving the familiar behind. But this is where faith grows. Growing pains show up strongest where God gives you direction, not the details. Matthew chapter 4 says that Jesus walked up on the disciples and said two words that changed everything: follow me. No explanation, no 5-year plan, no roadmap, just drop your nets, follow me. Now, their nets represented stability, community, identity, predictability, and of course, income. Leaving them wasn't small, it was life altering. And many of you are standing in the same moment. God is calling you into a new season, but your nets feel safer than your next. But sis, what I want you to understand is that your nets can't take you into your destiny. Now, let's talk about Ruth, because her story is one of the purest examples of courageous obedience in the Bible. Ruth was originally from Moab, a nation known for idolatry, immorality, and rebellion against God. This wasn't just another place. Moab carried a spiritual weight. Moab represented false gods, generational cycles, spiritual darkness, old identity, familiar comfort. This is what she grew up knowing. Going back to Moab would have been the easier route. It meant security, family connection, and cultural familiarity. When Naomi told Ruth and Orpah to return to Moab, Ruth had every natural reason to say yes. But she said something that shifted her entire lineage. In Ruth chapter 1, verse 16, she says this: "Where you go, I will go. Your people will be my people, and your God, my God." Ruth wasn't just choosing Naomi, Ruth was choosing God. She was choosing a new spiritual lineage, a new identity, a new path, a new future, and a new destiny. She refused to go back to Moab because Moab represented her past. And she sensed that following Naomi meant stepping into God's purpose. Ruth teaches us this undeniable truth: you cannot walk into a promised future by returning to a familiar past. She had no guarantee. She had no promise of a husband. She had no provision lined up. She had no clarity in what would happen in Bethlehem. Yet she obeyed anyway. And that obedience positioned her to meet Boaz, to build a legacy, and ultimately to be a part of the lineage of Jesus Christ himself. Now let's talk about Esther, because her obedience didn't just require courage, it required identity transformation. Now, Esther wasn't born into royalty. She wasn't groomed for leadership. She didn't grow up imagining that she would ever sit on a throne. Esther was a Jewish girl living in exile, an orphan raised by her cousin Mordecai, a woman with no status, someone who came from a marginalized and oppressed community. And on top of that, her Jewish identity had been hidden in a Parisian palace, a place where her people were outsiders. So when she was chosen to become queen, it wasn't because she came for prestige. It wasn't because she was politically connected. It wasn't because she had the right lineage. It was because God positioned her where she never expected to be. Esther's entire story is proof that God can elevate you into places your background says you don't qualify for. But here's the part people overlook: her elevation demanded obedience. Let me just pause there. If you ever want to elevate, if you ever want to move to the next level, it's going to require obedience. It required her to step into a role she didn't ask for. It required her to speak up when fear told her to be silent. It required her to risk her life, literally, for a calling bigger than her comfort. The king didn't even know that she was Jewish. She had to reveal a part of her identity that she was hiding. And this is what we all have to do. Esther trusted God with her life and her legacy. In Esther chapter 4, verse 14, Mordecai says this: "You have come to the kingdom for such a time as this." He wasn't just talking about her position, he was talking about her obedience. He was saying, Esther, you were placed here on purpose. Sis, you were placed here on purpose. This moment, this decision fills the gap between comfort and calling. But some of you feel like Esther. You feel like you're underqualified, like you don't know enough, like you don't have enough, like you're not ready enough, like you don't have the training, the background, the support to step into what God is calling you to do. But Esther teaches us this powerful truth. God doesn't need your resume. He needs your yes. And because of her obedience, it saved an entire nation. Her courage shifted the course of history. Her yes broke generational destruction. Her willingness to step into the unknown became the doorway to her purpose. God is placing some of you in unexpected rooms, unexpected opportunities, unexpected relationships, and unexpected roles. Not because you are qualified, but because He is calling you. And just like Esther, your obedience will impact more than just you. Many women pray, Lord, just tell me the whole plan. But God doesn't operate like that, sweetie. If God gave you all the details, you might run ahead of Him, rely on logic instead of faith, bring people He didn't choose for your next season, or talk yourself out of the assignment. God gives instructions in steps, not blueprints, because faith grows one step at a time. Now, this is where growing pains becomes real, because it's not just the external transition, it's the internal wrestling. The fear of letting go, the fear of stepping out, the fear of becoming a version of you that demands more consistency and more courage, the fear of being misunderstood. And this is the one that tops all of them: the fear of losing who you once were. But growth isn't emotional comfort, it's emotional stretching. And stretching is what shapes you. Now, to make it practical, here's what I call the faith forward plan. Step one, identify the nudge. What is God pressing on your heart that won't leave? Step two, identify the fear. What is fear telling you? Say it out loud, because naming the fear loses power. And then step three, identify the first step, not the whole plan, just the next step. Obedience begins with movement, not mastery. Then I want you to pray this: Lord, I surrender the details. Order my steps. I trust your voice more than my understanding. Obedience positions you for purpose. It positions you for peace, and it positions you for identity, and it positions you for destiny. Your yes is bigger than you. Your yes is building your future. Your yes is unlocking what God has prepared. Your yes is breaking generational cycles. Your yes is transforming you from the inside out. So, sis, this is your moment. This is your season. This is your call. Drop the nets. Don't return to Moab. Step into purpose and follow God into the unknown. Your next level requires movement. Take this opportunity as well to download my most recent workbook, the Let's Be Honest workbook, and my most recent one, Breaking the Limits devotional. Go ahead and download it for free. It will truly help you with all of this, not just those two series that I just wrapped up, but everything that you may be feeling, that you may be going through. Go ahead and download those free devotionals, those free workbooks, and apply it to your life. And if you want more help with what it is that you're going through, that you want to get more clarity, more understanding of where God is calling you, you feel stuck, you are in the unknown season, you're in the middle of whatever may be going on in your life, and you're just trying to get more understanding of it, of what it means, of what God is possibly trying to tell you, what it is that He's trying to show you. If you need help with that, I have the option for you to get on a 30-minute call. It's completely free and we can discuss it, but it's completely up to you. I'll have everything linked in the description down below for access, as well as in my bio. So go ahead and take this opportunity to get in connection with all of the resources that I have available, because they are truly helpful and they're all here for you. So I cannot wait to talk to you guys in the next video. I will see you guys then. Bye.